Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the month of June, and already we're here in the month of June. June is going to be a time when we can take a deep breath. Now, I have been guiding you all along month by month, and I know I've been giving you some big pictures of where we're headed, but let's just take it like they say, one day at a time, but we're going to take it 1 month at a time, because I feel like June is sort of like a time when we can get back to life somewhat more normal than we have before. A lot of people are going to be going on vacation. There's going to be a lot of travels. But yes, the economy is a mess. And I'm going to fill you in on exactly what I feel like the planetary weather forecast is going to be telling us. So before I continue on, I want to remind everyone to please sign up for my free newsletter where you can get all of my predictions delivered weekly to your email address. Go to galacticcenter.org. And another exciting event that's coming up, I'm going to start a new class for the University of Vedic Astrology. This means that I'm going to be doing the live webinars for semester 1, and this will start July 6th. Go to my university website, check it out, because it is an incredible time to start studying. This will be at University of Vedic Astrology.com. So let's get on and talk about exactly what we can expect for this very interesting month of June. You see, June 3rd, Mercury will turn direct. And Mercury retrograde has definitely been a major proponent in the economy going downwards, especially things such as the stock market and cryptocurrency, because I have noted through all of my analysis with Bitcoin that cryptocurrency or Bitcoin is ruled by Mercury. And I noticed every time that it goes retrograde or direct, it has an effect on the value of it. And right around the time that Mercury went retrograde, it went down. I said, wherever it is, it's going to go either down or up. It went down. And I surmised that by the time Mercury goes direct, you're going to see it going up again. And then again, for the stock market, yes, everyone is predicting that we are in a big depression. Well, not yet. That's what I see with the planets. So no matter where the stocks are in June, I think they're going to be still going to be volatile, but it's going to go up. And the first 2 weeks of July, mark my words, the planets are all so strong that something very positive should be happening in the economy, dealing with the stock market and in world events. And I'm going to fill you in on that, because July 2nd is pretty much an amazing day. Every planet will be in its own sign of rulership except the sun. And of course, with Vedic astrology, we're not looking at the outer planets. So we're going to have Saturn, which will be in Aquarius. We're going to have Jupiter in Pisces. We're going to have Mars in Aries. We're going to have Venus in Taurus. We're going to have Mercury in Gemini. And on that day, the moon will be in Cancer. But otherwise, throughout the moon, I actually love July 6th. And that's why I'm starting my university class, because the moon will be in Virgo and it's aspected fully by Jupiter. Amazing day to start projects. So put that in your calendar, that's a very auspicious day. Now, another thing with Mercury, the day that it turns direct, around June 3rd, I noticed that Saturn turns retrograde. So they are going to be in a square to each other, which is fascinating because they're both pretty much standing still. Saturn's going to be around 1 degree of Aquarius, while Mercury is at 1 degree of Taurus. And that's a very interesting turn of events. You're going to see a big turn of events on this day. And specifically, I want to say that because not only are they forming a perfect square, but they're standing still. And Mercury sits on the fixed star Agol, which in astrology, west or east, this is a very bad position in the zodiac. Agol is the star of decapitation. It represents losing one's head. Bad things. It's a demonic star, they say. So watch how there's going to be all sorts of delays and setbacks, even though Mercury's turning direct in many areas of life. And I think this has something to do with the war as well, because this is a huge aspect that this day and around this time, something's going to happen. Remember, I've been predicting there will be a fall of a world leader. And I've been thinking this may involve Ukraine. And therefore, I've been thinking that this will be the time that possibly Putin may have a fall. There's something happening with him right now. I've been looking at his chart, and I do think he is sick. There's something going on. And I think this is why we have a relief in the first few weeks of July after all that's going to be happening in June. But don't get too settled in this relief, because after the 2 weeks of July where the planets are so incredibly strong, I noticed that Mars, while it's in Aries, when it goes into the nakshatra Bharani, see, it's going to be in Ashwini throughout the time that it goes into Aries, which Mars going into Aries is going to be very, very powerful. And when it does, I'm just going to say that there's going to be tons of traveling, lots to do with flights, airfares, a lot of talk about the economy in terms of flights and expense and travels and delays. It's still going to be going on in June, needless to say, but I do think that when Mars goes into the nakshatra Bharani, that's where everything's going to heat up. So we have till the end of July where things are going to be a lot better between June till about July 17th, actually. July 17th is a big turning point as well, because that's going to be where Mars makes its transition and starts to go into the nakshatra Bharani, starts to near Rahu and Uranus. That is going to be detrimental. But remember, I kept saying that when Rahu hits the sun, and this was happening in May, that there was going to be something about a leader that will have to change his course or his position for sure, because that is a direct problem. Now, looking also, while we have the full moon and the new moon happening in June, this is really important. Remember, we had the solar eclipse, which is a full moon that happened on May 16th. But we're looking at the full moon. This is important because the full moon that's going to happen on June 14th is very significant. Why? Because the moon is still going to be in Scorpio. We had the full moon in Scorpio during the lunar eclipse, but we're going to have a full moon in Scorpio, and this is going to be June 14th, and it is at the very last degree of Scorpio, 29 degrees. Why is that important? It is vitally important. Why? Because the last degree of a water sign is what we call Gandanta. And what does that mean? Well, actually, Gandanta means a knot. Something is not working too well. But the way I was taught is that Gandanta gives the effect of what someone feels like when they're drowning. They cannot get control. And furthermore, this can mean like the very last degrees of a water sign or the very first degrees of a fire sign is actually Gandanta. But this one sits at the last degree of Scorpio, which is in the tail of the scorpion and is said to be one of the worst portions of the zodiac. And of course, when you think about the scorpion, what do you think about? The stinger. And it's very venomous and poisonous. This is a problem. I'll tell you why. Because nobody is recognizing or even looking at the major drug problem that we've been having, well, mainly in the United States, but I'm sure it's all over the world. Drugs are pouring in, and there are actually more deaths from drug overdoses than the virus. And people are still talking about the virus and not putting their attention where they should. And I've been talking about this the whole year because Jupiter and Neptune are in the same sign. Neptune rules drugs, things that, how we escape this world. And the other aspect of what Neptune rules is oil and gas. It actually rules all fluids. So Neptune, as it rules oil and gas, being in the sign with Jupiter makes it escalate and the prices go higher. And this is going to be relative for quite some time because we even have Mars now traveling with Jupiter. All of the prices in transport of things are escalating. The prices of fuel equates to the prices of food, of travel, basically everything, because farmers need diesel. The people need oil and gas to get places, and even transferring and shipping goes sky high. We all need things that are being shipped to us, and essentials, especially when you're looking at food products. And you know, there's even been a big epidemic where they can't get infant formula in the United States. This is crazy. So this Gandanta, I want you to realize the other aspect of Neptune rules drugs, and this can destroy a nation. Back in 1856, when Neptune came together with Jupiter before in the sign of Pisces, now remember they do come together almost every 12, 13 years, but not in this sign. And the last time they did, there was the opium epidemic in China that debilitated China over so many people being addicted to opium. So don't think this is a light matter. This is really affecting the world big time. Now, as I said, in June, now Mars is going to be in Pisces for the most part in June, but by June 27th, Mars is going to go into Aries, and it's going to be in Ashwini. And Ashwini is the nakshatra of fast movement. Things are going to start happening faster, and I think this will help, probably with the transport of things. And things will get better towards the end of June and the first few weeks of July. But look out, because that's where towards the third week of July, we're going to have major issues. And another thing going on during this time, for the most part of June, Venus will be in Aries. And this will be exactly from May 23rd till June 17th. But on June 16th, we have Venus conjunct Rahu. This will affect many things, but specifically relationships and how we relate. Venus being in Mars sign will be extraordinarily passionate. But look out, because passion can lead to blow-ups and breakups. So watch in the news if you don't see many breakups between famous people or things of this nature. And even in your own life, watch out. And it is also noted that Venus can rule vehicles. So that could be cars, airplanes, and this could be a difficult time for travel, especially on the day around June 16th and 17th, when Venus is exactly conjunct Aries. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at a month where things will improve. And the closer we get to the end of the month, you're going to see things getting better, major changes in the war, and I think there could be a cause for celebration. I think the economy is it's not going to stay down as everyone thinks it is. I think it's going to come back up by the first few weeks of July, and then we have another major roller coaster ride. And yeah, and I want to say, really, really take this time to enjoy family, to be with people you love, and really be appreciative of the beauty of this incredible planet, because it is a beautiful planet. And the more you put that energy out there of love and how beautiful, appreciation, that's the feeling that we should have, that we're here, we're lucky enough to be here on this beautiful, beautiful planet, especially this time of year. Enjoy it. Enjoy this. In the northern hemisphere, we get the summertime. Of course, in the southern hemisphere, it will be winter, but it's time to really enjoy the beauty of this earth. It will be incredible. And another thing is, as I've been saying, when we come to this full moon that happens around the 14th, the full moon that happens around the 14th of June, this is going to be a time when we can't deny the facts anymore. You can't blame the war for what's going on anymore. You can't blame the economy on the war, because it is not the issue. And the facts are becoming more and more clear. And if I could say the third week of July, where everything is going to shift, I'm going to fill you in with further details around this time. But when everything is due to shift at that time, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to call that the beginning of the end. The beginning of the end. Because what does that mean? Very, very important that you know this. Because the beginning of the end means that there's going to be a major clearing. Everything has been building and building and building, and it's going to be an event that clears the air. And many people that felt like there was injustices for so long will feel like the justices have come to the surface and are being served. So that's what we have to look forward to. But please enjoy this month and know that things are going to be very fruitful, especially towards the end of June and the beginning of July. And it's time to express love and gratitude for the planet, because the more you do this, the more you're going to help heal the planet and make it a better place for the world. And the future will be better. So with that, I'd like to close. If you would like more information on me, or you would like to study with me, first go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. And then remember, we're starting a new class in July with the University of Vedic Astrology.com. Thank you.